Sorry, the judges, you might actually come down to your seat so that you can watch His Excellency. You'll be standing from behind him. Thank you very. Can we give them a rousing round of applause? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Nasarawa State, Dr. Emmanuel Akabe, and the chairman of the committee actually for the planning of this wonderful event that we have just had. The chairman of the Federal Character Commission, even though just left before I came, ably represented by His Excellency, the former Deputy Governor of Taraba State, His Excellency Alhaji Armao Abubakar, members of the State Executive Council and members of the State Security Council, the special advisors, His Royal Highness, the Emir of Nasarawa and other Royal Highnesses who are here, the Secretary to the State Government Head of Service and top government functionaries who are here, Chairman of the local government councils, members of the Nasarawa Investment and Economic Advisory Council who are here. I don't know whether you are still watching. The chairman of Flour Mills, my boss, John Kumantaros, captains of industries who are here, distinguished guests, dear participants, distinguished members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a wonderful two-day event that we have had. And all I can say is thank you, thank you, thank you for the wonderful job actually that you have done. Thank you for your cooperation, thank you for your participation, and thank you for being here. Just like as one of my brothers mentioned, some of these traditional rulers were here yesterday and they have been here yesterday up till this moment. We'll never thank you enough for your wide counsel and for your support. Let me show great appreciation not only to everyone who has actually attended and been part of this summit and making it a success, but especially to His Excellency, the Deputy Governor, the Chairman of the Planning Committee, and all members of the committee that made this possible. I want to also thank our dear Chairman of the Advisory Council, the Economic Advisory Council, and some of his members who are still here and being part of this event. And the various speakers, participants, and judges, who have worked so hard and spent so much time in order to be here and make this a success. I want to particularly also thank the VIPs, especially a dear friend of Nasarawa State, His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, the former President of Ghana, who also spent the night and had to leave very early today, going back to Ghana. My dear brother, the Governor of Edo State, the captains of industries who are here, especially my chairman, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, GCON, Chairman Kumantaros of Flour Mills of Nigeria, GMD of Keystone Bank, and various other leaders of industry who were all part of this event. Like our father, the Emir of Nasarawa said, all our political leaders, especially the national chairman of our own party, the APC, Alhaji Abdullahi Turaken Kefi, who despite the very, very tight schedule that he had, was able to find time to be here. As a matter of fact, when I was coming in with Alhaji Aliko Dangote and I told him Abdullahi Adamu was here, he said, no way, there was no way Abdullahi Adamu would leave everything that he had to be here. But indeed he was. But that's the kind of commitment that we have, the people of Nasarawa State. My immediate predecessor, Senator Umaru Tanko Almakura, Senator Godia Akwashiki, all members of the National Assembly, our Speaker, our Chief Judge, members of the State Assembly, and all the rest who have been here. I want to also use the opportunity to especially thank our father, the Emir of Lafia, and all the other traditional rulers who have made it to this event. Let me also mention something that was not mentioned a lot here, to show great appreciation to the sponsors of this event. Most of the time, some of these events are held, is government money that is being spent. This is different. In reality, we decided to go for sponsors, starting with Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who gave us, through the Dangote Sugar Refinery, 20 million naira. The IHS Tower that gave 10 million naira. The Keystone Bank that gave us 10 million naira. The Flour Mills of Nigeria that gave 7 million naira. As the key sponsors, and the list goes on and on and on. We just mentioned these few because they are the ones that gave that, but there are so many that have given 3 million, 2 million, 1 million, and we appreciate every one of you. There are times, as Alhaji Aliko has always told me, there are times when somebody gives you 1,000 naira, and that 1,000, because the person can only afford 2,000, and he gave you 1,000, and that 1,000 should be better than anyone who had given you 10 million, because maybe the guy giving you 10 million could afford 200 million. So we want to thank every one of you. We are not taking it for granted, and we are not undermining any amount that we have received in order to make this event a success. Because we have seen where such events are sponsored from outside, and that's the reason why we went in that direction, even though it's the first event, and yet we got huge donations, from so many of these sponsors, as I have mentioned. Again, we got a lot of private sector volunteers who had given us sometimes what may be more than money. They had volunteered their time to come in and participate in one aspect of the planning or the other in order to make this a success. A lot of them have volunteered in the area of media, an area of some of this planning, an area of advertisement, and the rest of that. So we received a lot of private sector volunteers, to make this event a success. I want to thank every one of them that has worked so hard and made the volunteering possible. Let me thank our young people. The young people that have made this a big success. Usually, every economic summit or this kind of summits that I attended, you will see the first day is the big day, where all the big guns come in, and a lot of people want to come on that day. But usually the best day is the second day, because in that second day, that's when you are able to strike deals. That's where you are able to sign MOUs. That's where you are able to establish, because a lot of times, the high-profile people are not there. So the attention is now more on the summit and more on the business. There were a lot of people that came in yesterday, maybe to meet His Royal Highness, the 14th Emir of Kano. Some other people came to meet Konya Jai. Some other people wanted to see Alhaji Aliko Dangote. Some other people. So the summit probably was not their focus. But you see, today, everybody who is here today, the summit is his focus. And that is the reason why sometimes you get a lot of attention, a lot of successes on the second day. Because I have attended at least, both internationally and locally, I have attended at least 50 to 60 summits in my lifetime in the corporate world. And this exactly has been the practice. And so I thank you so much, all of you who have shown up today for this. I want to also, just like the Deputy Governor has mentioned, to apologize. Because during a planning like this, being our very, very first summit, you will expect a few things that may not go exactly the way some other people expected. And a lot of people also will say, we actually succeeded more than we expected. But there are critics. There are people who will sit down and wait only to pick the errors. And that is okay also. So in case there are some errors here and there that you pick, please advise us. Because being our first summit, we are not perfect. It's likely that we have made some mistakes here and there. I know one area probably we had made mistakes is area of planning for those who were going to spend the night, who we invited specifically. I think in situations like that, we were overzealous. We paid more attention and then concentrated on those coming from outside. I think even those who came from within will have made some arrangements. So we'll note that and we'll take that and make mistakes. So I sincerely apologize. It was an honest mistake. The same thing I was told about the media. There was a lot of effort on concentration on media that will actually explore us to the outside world. So probably some of the media that are concentrated locally, maybe there has not been too much attention on inviting them. And I want to apologize in case we made a mistake also there. Now what, like they said? After the summit, what happens? We have to follow up. Like the Emir of Nasarawa mentioned, in reality, directly opposite the salt, Kiana salt, we had Dangote salt. So when I came in and I was going around and I said, have you established contact? They said, no. I say, you need to establish the contact right now. So that is the whole idea. Once we come in, we must be able to be establishing contact with this, and then we establish that. So our role is not only to sign the MOUs, to carry out the deals, but to follow up, to implement, and make sure it happens. With Alhaji Aliko Dangote, don't worry, I will do the follow-up personally. When he says he is going to invest this amount of money, believe me, the chairman of the council and I will follow up and ensure that he invests even more than that, because that is going to be our role. But for the other ones, I please want you to follow up. I want to thank the MCs. The MCs have done a marvelous job. They have done a fantastic job. I want to thank them sincerely for what they have done. All our various investors, especially the investors that are already in and the investors that are coming on, want to thank you sincerely and want to show you that the commitment that you saw in us yesterday, inshallah, will be the commitment that you will see today. And we will continue to support you until we get to success. So I wish you well. I thank you so much for turning up for this event. We pray that the next one will even be better than the one we have today. Thank you and God bless.